All right. Hey, teacups. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Can y'all hear me? Comment in the chat and let me know if you can hear me. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. It's just going to be me today. It's just Monica. I'll be all by myself today, breaking stuff down, y'all. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Can y'all hear me? Can everybody hear me? Do I sound loud and clear? Yes. Yes. We got a lot of people in the chat today. Good morning. Good morning. All right, y'all. Y'all know I typically don't go live this early, and I usually have the panel with me, but I'm by myself this morning, and I just had to come to y'all because there's so much stuff going on. So as everyone knows, Jamal Bryant went live last night on Instagram. Okay. Pastor Holy Whore, aka Pastor Jamal Bryant, went live last night on Instagram with his own binder of receipts, or as he called it, the cash register of receipts. So after watching his now deleted Instagram live, I went directly to the source. I got Monique and Chris Samuels on the phone to respond to his claims. Y'all can hear me, right? Okay, let me see who's in the chat. Yeah, good morning. Yes, we can hear you. Yep. So Jamal is responding to Monique Samuels, dragging him from the pulpit to Kingdom Come on part 1 of the reunion of Real Housewives of Potomac reunion, season 5. That went down last Sunday, okay? In Jamal's live, he addressed several things, but I want to focus on some main points. Number 1, he accused Chris Samuels of having a serious medical condition called CTE. Number 2, Jamal accused Chris Samuels of assaulting a woman last week in Safeway. Safeway is a grocery store, okay? Number 3, he addressed his ex-girlfriend, Tunia Griffin. Number 4, Jamal talked about his relationship with his daughters. Number 5, Jamal made veiled threats to the Samuels. Number 6, he claims Chris Samuels verbally assaulted Gisele and Robin at the reunion. I just want to touch on those main points, and I'm going to go ahead and play Jamal's live, and we'll break it down as we go along. Okay, hold on a second. Let me see if I can share my screen.
Now, what we did is pre-recorded.
Hang on a second, y'all.
Call Andy. You and Andy just need to do a one-on-one.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Can y'all see that? Let me go back over here. Let me fast forward a little bit.
I wanted to share with all of you tonight just a couple of things that are on my heart. I ask that you would share this with every person in your sphere of influence. And so I'll just take one moment before it is that I begin. So I ask that you share. Grateful for all of you. Thank you for dropping in. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate all of you. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your support. All right, we'll start in just 1 minute.
Let me fast forward.
Okay, get my binder, and I don't don't want to keep you long, but I wanted to make sure that I had everything that I needed for tonight. Let me first apologize for the delay. I know ordinarily you would have looked to hear from me sooner and earlier, but I've been busy campaigning around the state of Georgia as we are in a very critical election for 2 senators to be elected. My Morehouse brother, Reverend Raphael, went out, and John Ossoff. Early voting started here on Monday, and I'm glad to be a part of the Black Church PAC that is navigating and mobilizing churches around the state of Georgia for us to have record turnout. Then on yesterday, we did a pop-up with Slutty Vegan to feed the workers of Walmart and for those in the community. And so it's been a rough week, a long week, all for the good of the whole, the good of the community, the good of the people. Let me say to you, I have been delayed trying to honor the wishes of Gisele, who asked me not to respond, not to say anything. So for those of you who were overwhelmingly concerned that I hadn't said anything, had not given any defense, was because I was honoring what it is that Gisele desired. Because of mounting moments that have happened in social media, I thought it prudent that I not remain silent so that my silence would not be confused with consent. Let me open by saying, those of you who know me, I'm always a straight shooter. So as a consequence, you need to know from the jump, tonight is not an apology. Tonight, I'm not asking for anybody's forgiveness. Tonight is not about a confession. Tonight is for clarity. I have, for 5 seasons, I've never said anything about Potomac. For 5 seasons, not said a word in a sermon, in a post, in a subtweet, in a text. I average at least 56 interviews a year. And in no condition and in no term have I ever mentioned the Housewives of Potomac, good, bad, or ugly, in support. A couple of things that I wanted to share that I think prudent for our discussion tonight. I have long since not been an advocate for many reality television shows because I don't think that it represents the best of who we are, nor does it advance our progress, our maturity, and our brilliance. A bone of contention between Gisele and I for years was about her participation in the show and how it is that I did not support it. In baby steps of reconciliation, I agreed to be on it against my better judgment, against my wisdom, and even against my convictions. I wholeheartedly regret participating. And I want you to know that I will never be on the Housewives of Potomac or anything in that franchise ever again. But I wanted you to know why. I took a couple of days to be sober of thought and clear of mind, so I would not, in fact, operate in emotionalism, but in sound judgment. So I want to tell you why you will never see me on the Housewives of Potomac again. It has been a gross misrepresentation of my character, my ministry, and my humanhood. There are a couple of things that have happened this season that require immediate redress. Many of you who are watching bombarded me with accusations of abandoning my family, not being there for my girls, for their photo shoot. as if I was just in Atlanta, frolicking around and participating in willful neglect. The truth of the matter is, I was in South Africa. I was in South Africa, coming back for the photo shoot, and had a delay in Frankfurt, Germany for 6 hours. The producers knew it, the network knew it, and as a consequence, my flight did not land in enough time. And none of that was mentioned. None of it was brokered.
I just want to stop right there for a minute. Did they not mention and show Jamal calling in from the airport in Atlanta where he said he was getting a manicure done? So they did show it. Does he not watch the show? Y'all comment in the chat. What is he talking about? I'm going to continue on.
None of it was represented. Secondly, what happened on Housewives of Potomac is that many of you misguidedly thought that it was in real time. It was, in fact, recorded a year ago in 2019. And so you saw my children who were not happy with me, but you didn't have context. It's their first day of school, and this is the very first time in their entire lives that the first day of school I was not present to pick them up or to take them. Any of you who have teenagers understand the emotional roller coaster of teenage girls. So consequence, I had just moved to Atlanta, so it was adjustment for them and it was for me. They are absolutely daddy's girls. As a matter of fact, they are here in Atlanta often and frequent, and more than their school, they wear New Birth t-shirts and hoodies almost every day. Faithfully, even while in Maryland, they watch their father on Sunday morning in worship. I have a very healthy relationship with my children, which I value and which I absolutely don't take for granted. The third thing that was put out there pejoratively was disparaging remarks made by my father-in-law, Mr. Curtis Graves, who is 83 years of age. He's 83 years of age, and unlike many, I was raised old school, that you never disrespect elders. I honor him. He's an amazing man, has had incredible accomplishments, and he has every right to feel protective over his daughter. I've been divorced for now 10 years, and he and I have not had a heart-to-heart, man-to-man conversation about me breaking the heart of his baby girl. Anybody who is married or been married understands that working with in-laws is a process and it is a journey. So that was, in fact, one of the very few times in 10 years that we have been in proximity. But I want on record that I honor him. He's made tremendous strides in history. He is my fraternity brother, and I want my children to always know that I honor their grandfather and Giselle's father. I then want to move. Let me make sure I'm on the right page of my binder, because you can't bring me receipts if I got the cash register. So let me press the cash register. Yes, I dated a young lady in New York. In case you all missed it, I've been divorced for 11 years, and single people date. When you date, sometimes it works, and sometimes it didn't. And in this instance, it didn't. Nothing immoral, illegal, or unethical took place. It did not work out. There is some clarity that needs to happen. I'm not married. I'm not engaged. So some of you have a strange relationship with language. You can't have a mistress while you're single. So I never had a mistress. As a consequence, she has never been to visit me in Atlanta, never been to Newburgh, never been in my home. I've never been in her home. Now, you would think that things just move forward and people move.
I just want to touch on that real quick. So the good pastor is single. He's not in a relationship with Gisele Bryant, as she stated. We're going to come back to that.
They don't. So if we're going to show text messages, let's show all the text messages. Let's show the text messages of the young lady asking to fly to Atlanta for my installation. Show the text message where I said, no, it's not a good idea. You're going to show the text message, show all the text messages where you asked to come down for Memorial Day. And I said, no, you can't come here. If you're going to show the text messages where you complain because I didn't open the door for you to speak on the Word Network. You're going to show the text message, show all of them. How it is that you wanted me to hire you to be on staff. I told you you weren't qualified. And so January, I brought in new staff members, 3 of them. My assistant pastor, Colleagues Lemons, my internet pastor, Curvant Ross, and my emerging generations pastor, Carriana Turner. So if you're going to show the text message, show the text message from January 5th, where you sent me in text, oh, I see you hired a young lady. You must be sleeping with her. To which I responded, no, I didn't even know her before I hired her. 56 people applied for the job, and she emerged because she is competent and because she is capable. And so for you to insinuate it is fraudulent. You don't read the text messages. Read the text messages where you asked me to review your dissertation on Black women's empowerment. I told you it needed a revision because it doesn't have depth, it doesn't have enough nuance, and there is no creativity. You don't read the text. Read the text. How it is that you sent this, quote, receipts to 27 periodicals and blogs, hoping to sell a story. And of the 27 you sent it to, 25 dismissed it because they knew it had no merit, it had no weight. And so because doors were not opening, because you're chasing clout and an opportunity to get on a stage that gift and integrity necessitate, you then sent it to the executive producers of Bravo. Sent it to the executive producers of Bravo, they didn't respond. So you sent it to every person in the cast. Your dissertation is on the empowerment of Black women. So the question is, if you're empowering Black women, why'd you send it to the entire cast and never send it to Gisele? You want to equip her and not break her or crucify her, and you thought something was awry, then the responsible thing to do is to go to that woman. But you didn't do that. It's okay. What you didn't say in passing out this information is that you and your sister starting a magazine, very fledgling, no circulation, poor editing. And so my query in answering you about where I am and what I'm doing is not as a friend, but because I didn't want it in publication, and I didn't trust it, obviously wisely, that it wouldn't be used otherwise, because every pass had a demand for something else. The only person who bought into it was Monique. So let's go to bed. Where's Monique? Oh, here she is. Monique Samuels, I've never met. Never shook her hand. Never been in the room with her. And yet, she's assassinated my character with high level of ire, of anger and hostility. A man she's never met. Now, I've got to address this because on national, international television, you've labeled me a holy whore. I think is the word you use, holy whore. And so I need to give some address to that. I'm not sleeping with any woman in my church, and I have no babies in my church, and I have no inappropriate relationship with any woman.
Let's just pause right there. Maybe not this church. You see, he's really good with words, right? He's not having a relationship with any woman in this current church or any babies with any woman in this church, but he sure did in his previous church in Baltimore that he was ran out of. Okay, let's continue.
In my church. Now, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble reading my own writing. Oh, here it is. So I understand what the hostility was about and why the redirect of attention was on me. The redirect of attention on me, you teamed up with your best friend, who rest in peace, has gone on to be with the Lord, and generated a story because you wanted to redirect because you thought a story was getting ready to break, that your baby is from your trainer. And that's what got your husband upset, because he thought Gisele leaked. I want to tell you, Monique and Chris, it is not Gisele who leaked that, but Monique, your best friend, Gigi. We had nothing to do with it. You came hostile and angry, and it was misdirected rage. Misdirected rage.
I'm gonna stop right there for a minute. Didn't Gisele? She didn't create the rumor, but she sure did help facilitate the spreading of the rumor. See, Jamal has a way with words, and it's all semantics. But if you break down his live, we can really get to the truth of the matter. I mean, no one ever said that Gisele started the rumor, but she mentioned it on camera a few times. Gisele was the one that brought it to TV. It was always talked about behind the scenes and gossiped with Sharice and all those people off camera. But Gisele was the one that brought it to camera. Let's be clear, Jamal.
Because you live in a house with a man who has anger management, who doesn't mind expressing volatile behavior. And everything that I'm saying tonight is not conjecture. This is not murder. This is self-defense. So on Sunday, for the first time in 5 years, I'm inviting my audience to watch the reunion, Housewives of Potomac, where you will see Monique's husband try to attack my wife, my ex-wife, and Robin. And security had to be called, and he had to be subdued.
I just want to stop right there real quick, y'all, and let y'all know that that is 100% false, okay? Now, while I can't give away any reunion secrets, and I'm not going to really talk about part 2 or part 3 of the reunion, that's a complete lie. Chris Samuels never verbally attacked Gisele or Robin at that reunion. And Pastor Holy Whore is inviting his congregation to tune in. And boy, is he going to be embarrassed, because you're not going to see Chris Samuels verbally attacking any woman on part 2.
And I'm very concerned. Monique, you all have my phone number, as you expressed on the show, but I had you all's address. And because of grace, I didn't respond to that. Chris, you've got to take care of CTE. Some of your former teammates contacted me, they're concerned. Said, Jamal, please don't respond because CTE is a progressive degenerative disease from a history of trauma to the brain. And so just last week, you had an outbreak again, verbally assaulting a Black woman in Safeway. You have the footage of that, but I'm not going to air that. But I'm asking you to please get help.
I just want to stop right there real quick and address a few things, okay? Let's start with line number 1. Jamal claims Chris Samuels has CTE. He's calling it CT, but it's actually CTE. CTE, for those that may not know, is a fatal brain disease associated with repeated traumatic brain injuries, including concussions and repeated blows to the head. A lot of former NFL players do actually exhibit symptoms of CTE. It's associated with the development of dementia as well. CTE can only be diagnosed while after a person's death by autopsy. There's no way to diagnose CTE while someone is actually living, okay? Therefore, no one can actually really say Chris Samuels has CTE. I spoke to Chris and Monique last night for quite some time. They both told me that Chris does not exhibit any symptoms of CTE, not one. Therefore, he does not have it. And I think it's pretty reckless and pretty disgusting of Pastor Holy Whore to make such a claim without even knowing the Samuels. He says in this video, he does not know Monique and he does not know Chris. So that's a complete lie. Okay. Lie number 2, Jamal accused Chris Samuels of assaulting a woman at Safeway last week. Now that's some real piping hot tea, isn't it? But it's actually a lie. Okay. So here's actually what happened. 3 weeks ago, not last week, 3 weeks ago, Chris Samuels ran into Sharice Jordan in Safeway. 3 weeks ago, y'all, not last week. And they started a conversation and Chris told Sharice, he said, I've been waiting to run into you because I owe you an apology. Now, what he means by that is he's apologizing for any previous comments he may have made about Sharice on a live he did with Monique a few months ago. I don't know if any of you saw that live. I could leave a link to it down in the description box, okay? They did that live after Candace had revealed Sharice, Gisele, and a few others were in on a plot to destroy his family. Sharice spread nasty rumors around Potomac about Monique's and Chris's youngest son and the paternity of their son. Okay, Chris told me he spoke in a very calm manner. Okay, Sharice was stuttering. He never raised his voice and certainly never laid a hand on that woman. Y'all know if it was any kind of physical altercation or verbal abuse or Chris raising his voice, there would be video footage of it. That video, people are so quick to whip out their cell phones and take videos. And plus, Sharice would have called the police. There would have been a police report filed. I'm going to go ahead and continue Jamal's rant. We'll touch on some other things after.
I've tracked down your pastor, so all of what I'm saying is involved, so that your pastor can help you get the help that is needed and that is necessary. None of this really necessitated happening. I've not bothered any of you. I've not said anything disparaging against any of you. I've not attacked any of you. But I thought it was necessary for a couple of reasons. I thought it was necessary because of the failures of my past it made the accusations of the present believable. And many of you began writing on my social media with no information, began attacking me with no information.
I just want to say, y'all, thank you so much for the super chats. My girl Marcella is on this live. I love you, Marcella. Thank you so much. She said, Mr. Pastor's statement sends more questions than answers. I agree.
Started going all the way in with no information. And I wanted believers to know that no matter what it is that you did in your past, you can outlive it in your present. Regrettably, those of you who have said the most vile, nasty, and negative things did it behind scripture. You did it under the guise of being saved. Not calling for prayer, but immediately calling for crucifixion. I didn't say that I was perfect, nor do I pretend to be. But don't come for me unless I invite you. All of us are in a journey of a process of trying to be better, trying to work out, and I am one of them. So you have to forgive me because I'm not going to hold you long. Pastor, why are you running? I'm running because I got to get ready. Because Saturday, I got to feed 8,000 families in Atlanta who don't have groceries. I think I got to announce that here because none of these bloggers are going to write about that. I got to go because as soon as I finish that, I got to open up Christmas City for 1,000 disadvantaged children whose parents are incarcerated, they're in foster care, or their parents have been laid off in COVID. I gotta go because I gotta go further, make sure that by January 5th, we elect 2 senators from the state of Georgia and flip the state and change the nation. I gotta go because I'm not called to entertainment. I'm called to empowerment. So I know that many of you will still have stuff to say. I am not here to convince you. What I am here to say is I wish we would expend as much energy pushing positive than we do pushing negative. I wish when one of us falls or makes a misstep, we will cover them, protect them, and then push them. I wish that at some point or another, we would mature and reason together. I live in Atlanta, but I'm from Baltimore. I want to wish all of you a Merry Christmas and to all a good night. God bless you.
So he lives in Atlanta, but he's from Baltimore. Did y'all catch that threat? Earlier in his live, he also said that Monique had my phone number, but I know where she lives. Did y'all catch that veiled threat? What is he trying to say? First of all, anyone from the hood knows hood talk. I live in Atlanta, but I'm from Baltimore. That means he will kick some ass Baltimore style, right? We're not stupid here. This is a pastor. I don't know, but I don't know about these new age pastors. I don't know any pastor that would threaten someone. I don't know any pastor that's going to go on live and bring up a woman that he was fornicating with, because as a pastor, he's a Christian and he's not perfect. But you're not supposed to have premarital sex or even promote it. You're not even supposed to really date. Okay. And if you date, it's supposed to be under the guidance of an elder in the church. You're not supposed to go out with a woman alone. Y'all comment in the chat and let me know what kind of pastor would do something like that. Okay. We also, earlier in this live, I addressed his line number 3, where he said Chris Samuels verbally assaulted Gisele and Robin at the reunion. That's 100% false. I can't get into too much about the details of part 2 or part 3, I don't want to give anything away. You guys have to tune in. But Chris Samuels did not verbally assault any woman on that cast. That's a complete lie. I know the previews make it look a certain way, but you know how editing can be. All I can say is tune in, because no female on that cast was verbally assaulted. Okay. And it does get heated and it does get emotional. You thought part one was a doozy? Oh, goodness gracious. Part two is going to knock you off your feet. Okay. I have Marcella on the line and she wants to call in. So I'm going to have her call in because she is also a blogger. She's intimately connected to the DMV area and she has a few things to say. Hey, Marcella.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Monica. Thank you for allowing me to come on. Yesterday, I heard from all sides, and I was really disturbed because this is a man of God. And I don't want to go too much into the Bible, but this man did not follow Romans 12:19, where he's supposed to let God handle what he's going through. He didn't also follow Matthew 5:38. Where he's supposed to turn his cheek. And, he didn't follow Matthew 5:43 and 44, where he's supposed to, love his enemies. This man is supposed to be a man of God, and he knows that he could have came onto the reunion and whatever Monique said, he could have stood there in defense of himself. But why I say that he did not answer, he gave more questions than answer, because he did not even say Monique was lying. The other thing, he did not tell us that he dated this woman for 8 years. He didn't talk about his other children, only about Gisele children. But what really got me is that he was talking like a street ninja. You might got my phone number, but I got your address. I'm in Atlanta. I'm from Baltimore. Those are all critical threats. And what a lot of people don't know, my brother played professional football. He's well known, and that CTE can only be diagnosed after death. And this man just spewed a lot of lies that it really hurt my soul that you would tell your congregation to watch the show. But he never even said, I am with Gisele. He said, I'm single.
Yeah. He said he's single. He's not dating currently, basically.
Right. And so this man may not have had a baby in Atlanta and his children are elsewhere. But this man acts like he's more in the street than he's in a church. And that church, New Birth, has a bad reputation. If you Google the last pastor, Eddie Long, that was some problem. And now you got another pastor who has become a problem. He also posted he was unbothered. Now he so sequentially brings up Gigi's name, but he doesn't talk about other people's names. How would he know this information? I know nobody went to the pulpit to tell him that it was Gigi.
Yeah.
He had to learn this from Gisele. But allegedly today, he's not even speaking to Gisele. He doesn't speak to her.
Well, he speaks to her because she fed him a bag of lies, is what she did. I can't even get mad at Jamal or fault Jamal. He is going based off of the lies that Gisele has fed him. That's what he's doing. She ran to him. He wouldn't know about that Safeway incident with Sharice if Gisele didn't tell. Sharice didn't go tell Gisele, and Gisele went and told Jamal. But she's setting him up for failure because when his congregation watches on Sunday, they will see that Chris Samuels did not verbally assault anyone. They will see that security didn't have to subdue Chris Samuels like he said. And they will also see that his ex-wife plotted to destroy a family and told lies on an innocent baby. That's what his congregation is going to see on Sunday.
And he will blame editing. But see, he didn't do what God wanted him to do. Jamal made a man move, not a God move. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And that is disturbing to me. That is
Absolutely.
very disturbing. I have met Chris Samuel, and he is so calm. I have met Monique. They are so calm. But you do not understand the people in this world. If you go after someone's kids, that can change you. But I did not see a violent bone in this man. And if Chris was so violent when Monique and Candace got into it, he would have praised his wife. He did not agree with what Monique had done.
Right.
So that's not a man of violence. And, you know, Jamal needs to be sat down for this.
Well, what had happened was the church board called a meeting, according to my sources, because Monique decimated Pastor Holy Whore, New Birth Ministries last Sunday. She busted him wide open, and it's ruining the reputation of the church.
Right.
Now his job is being affected. And that is why in the beginning of his live, he said he will never appear on the Real Housewives of Potomac again. And he never appeared physically, but he appeared on her phone. So he's never gonna, you're not gonna get a voicemail from him. You're not gonna get iPhone Jamal no more. He is done because she's now Gisele, and this show is affecting his coin. You see, them baskets that go around on Sunday came up a little bit short. So the church board and the deacons all got together. They called an emergency meeting.
And see, my thing is, then he went in on this gossip and this messiness and going to say that he's feeding people. You know, when this church is doing something, that money does not come out of Jamal's pocket. It comes out of what the church donates to help people. I don't see how he can mix his religion in with what he's done, because truthfully, the money that he's making with his tithes, which is his payment for his service to that flock, he's not using that money himself to feed the hungry. He's not doing this himself. So for him to even say nobody is talking about what good he does, whatever he has done good, he messed it all up because he's a narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
He's egotistical. He is what Gisele say, cheater, pumpkin eater. And he has gotten caught. And I don't understand. This church should not be allowed to keep this man because the church hired him. And he should not get a warning. That was warning enough.
Right. I thought it was pretty manipulative for him to mention all the charitable giving at the end and then say, oh, the blogs are not going to talk about this. So I am. And I wanted to point out, because everybody's been talking about this, the binder was upside down.
Yes, it was.
He was reading off a teleprompter. Okay.
Right.
It was a script.
And he didn't read not one text message that he's saying that this woman in New York sent him. He didn't read not one text. It was upside down. And he said, well, he got the cash register and Monique got the receipts. Well, the receipts right now are looking better than the cash register. Okay.
Hello. It's a cash register of lies. I'll tell you that much. You know what really, like I said, sparked all of this stuff is when Monique referred to him as Pastor Holy Whore. That she needs to go ahead and trademark that statement because it went viral.
Amen.
Pastor Holy Whore t-shirts and go stand out front of New Birth Church chanting Pastor Holy Whore, Pastor Holy Whore, because that is really what sparked the emergency meeting. That and the baskets going around being a little bit, not as fluffy.
Right. I want y'all to know when every good thing comes out of New Birth, it is not Jamal Bryant. It is New Birth Church. He does not own that church. I'm telling you, when these pastors get to Atlanta, something happens within them. Something. They all start doing crazy stuff.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about let's just go and dive into a little bit of the stuff he said on that live. Some more of the things he said. Mainly talking about his ex-girlfriend Tunia Griffin, who is the pastor of the Sanctuary Church in Rochester, New York. Now, he dated her for 8 years. Okay? 8 years. But mind you, he dated the most recent baby mama, his 1-year-old child's mother, for 11 years. Okay, so the relationships overlapped. That's some tea. He talked about his girls being teenagers, and what we saw was taped a year ago. But on the show, they said, Mama, we don't want you with him because of the way he treated you. That has nothing to do with teenage angst and, you know, girls just being teenagers. They're talking about his character.
Correct.
Okay, not him not showing up for the first day of school a year ago.
But let me make something very clear. With the bullying going around in the schools, he got to know that these children are going to say something to his children when they go to school today. He's got to know that. And I don't see why she, as a mother, would have dragged her children into this fakery, foolery on this show.
She thought that they would go along and play along because it's mama's show and it's TV, but they kept it real. Talked about those 3 daughters as if he don't have any other kids.
Correct.
He has 4 other kids. How do you think they feel? And the mothers of those children feel? They're hurting too.
Well, let me explain something. The restaurants that he bought, Arizona, and he said it belongs to his children. Believe me, allegedly, in my opinion, that's another way of money laundering. When he don't have something, he can get money out of that business. But guess what? As a baby mama, if I was a baby mama, I would be mad because he is taking better care of Gisele's kids than his other children.
Right. And they're seeing all this stuff on TV and they're hurt. They're hurt. And don't be surprised if they start speaking out really soon too, because they're watching, they saw the show, they saw him on that show with the girls at the restaurant. And, you know, he's not doing his part with his other kids. He's not.
Absolutely.
He's not. Okay. I also wanted to address, Marcella, him throwing Gisele's daddy under the bus. Okay.
Oh my God. The Bible again says, honor your mother and father and your days will be on this earth. And to me, Gisele and him was trying to make Gisele's father seem senile. No, Gisele's father is a man that loves his daughter and is trying to warn her. He did this to you before. Do not get caught up in this again. And he really threw him up under the bus. He might have said it in a nice way. I respect him and do all of that. But that upset him that the father made the accusation first and then Gisele.
Well, and then mentioning the daddy's age as if to imply he's senile. You know,
correct.
I respect my elders. This man is 83 years old. But what he's failing to mention is that Daddy Bryant, Gisele's daddy, his last name's not Bryant. Gisele's daddy hates him because he caused his daughter to have a mental breakdown right before they got married. Because he had 2 kids outside of that relationship while he was engaged to Gisele, and she had to be admitted to a mental health facility because he caused her to have a mental breakdown. He pretty much ruined that girl.
Right. He did. And for her to, I mean, y'all, I work with women of domestic violence. She was in a domestic violence situation, not physically, but he mentally broke her down. You know, he mentally affected her life where she is trying so hard to be a part of this man's life. And from this show, she should see he has not changed. Because guess what? The look on her face on that first part of the reunion was total shock. She was embarrassed again. And, during the episodes of the show, she said that she had oral sex with this man. And guess what? Now you find out he's been with other women, just not you. He's not as booked and busy as you thought, Gisele. He had booty calls.
Well, his penis booked and busy. It's community penis. So,
Correct.
I mean, and the only person assaulting people is his penis. All the women.
Correct. He has shared himself to everyone, and she should be embarrassed. And you know what? This all happened a year ago, and today her house is still incomplete. They are still, listen, y'all, when she said that because of the coronavirus, she can't get the material, they are still building houses everywhere. Everywhere. And they're still building houses. So she lied about that.
She don't have the money, but she's too embarrassed to just say it. And you're sleeping with a pastor for free. Where they do that at? I mean, you're supposed to be so pretty and so gorgeous and just, the belle of the ball, and your man ain't paying your bills?
Correct. He's not paying your bills, and that's why he tried to blow your blonde hair up by saying the restaurant belonged to the girls, but they're not getting any residual income from it. They're not.
Well, it's closed down, so it's shut down now. No restaurant exists. That was all for TV. He wasn't taking that shit seriously. Can we address the stuff he said about his ex-girlfriend, Tunia Griffin? He completely assassinated her character, right? He claims she wanted a job from him, but she wasn't qualified, to preach at his church. He turned her down. She started a magazine that flopped, and that was no good. Her dissertation was trash, and that was no good. I mean, he is throwing this woman up under the bus, running her over, backing up, and running her over again.
And that's part of the verbal abuse that he does to women. He uses them, and then when they're no good to him, he throws them under the bus. He talks about them. Now, this woman is very reputable. And guess what? Before she wanted to continue the relationship, she said, if you're trying to get your family together, I'm going to branch off. I don't believe he's never been to her house. I don't.
Probably not. He stays at hotels. Just like when they go to Atlanta, her and the girls, they don't go to his house. They're not allowed. They have to stay at a hotel. Okay. Their relationship was never real. Jamal was doing Gisele a favor, and she probably said, look, I'll drop the child support with the courts. Just pay me what you can, but just come on the show and pretend like we're in this relationship because I need a storyline. Karen laid it out at the reunion.
It's crazy. But I'm going to tell you, New Birth, if you're here listening to this, you are being led by the blind leaving the blind. And this is a total embarrassment, again, New Birth, to your church. Because this man acted like he was a woman to get up here and fight with words. And he does have a good way of speaking. He has spoke women out of their panties, and he is trying to cover his butt right now. And New Birth shouldn't get another dime from no one. Narcissistic behavior, Mrs. T, you are correct. He is crazy.
I'm trying to TLW. I am trying to get them, get her on the next show. Stay tuned for that interview coming up. Yeah, he is a classic textbook narcissistic behavior. Absolutely. And a politician. And he looked like R. Kelly too, a predator.
Correct. He assaulted his own character when he got up there speaking and had that paper thin binder upside down with some scribbles on it. He looked crazy doing it. He assassinated his own character, and that is a fact.
Why didn't he come to the reunion? Why wasn't he there?
You know why? Because he knows that he's when Gisele said, I am the first lady, me and Jamal are doing fine. He did not want to get up there and say, we're not together.
Right.
I'm hitting it. That's it.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people joined the live late. I addressed all of his lies point by point earlier in this live. I'll go over them again. So lie number 1, Jamal claims Chris Samuels has CTE. CTE, for many of those of you out there that don't know, is a fatal brain disease associated with repeated traumatic brain injuries, including concussions, which former NFL players sometimes exhibit symptoms of that from their repeated hits in the head and all the tackles and all that other stuff, right? Here's the thing though, CTE can only be diagnosed after death and by autopsy of the brain. There's no way you can diagnose, a doctor doesn't diagnose CTE while someone's alive. Like the Hernandez NFL player that was jailed, they did an autopsy of his brain and found out that he had CTE, but they couldn't diagnose him while he was alive, but he did exhibit behaviors of it. Chris Samuels does not exhibit any symptoms of CTE. And I spoke to Chris and Monique last night for quite some time, okay? Several hours. And they broke down a lot of things for me and made things very clear. And they said, and they wanted me to stress this point, Chris does not have CTE or even exhibit any behaviors of CTE. Line number 2 that I addressed earlier in this live is Jamal accused Chris Samuels of assaulting a woman in Safeway last week. That's a complete lie. What really happened was 3 weeks ago, Chris Samuels ran into Sharice Jordan. Now, y'all know Sharice Jordan is Monique's former friend. She used to appear on The Real Housewives of Potomac before she got fired. And she has been desperate to get back on that show. So she teamed up with Monique's former best friend, Gigi, to spread a lie, which, by the way, y'all, Gigi is now saying that she never said that Monique slept with the trainer. That's her new statement as of 24 hours ago. Okay. So Sharice worked double time spreading this lie. She linked up with Gisele and Robin to try to bring this lie to the show. And as y'all seen, Sharice has been making numerous appearances on the show, unmiked. We can never hear her voice, and unpaid. Okay. She is very, very desperate to get back on that show. So back to what I was saying, Chris ran into Sharice 3 weeks ago, not a week ago, like Jamal said. They had a very mild-mannered conversation. Chris even apologized to Sharice because previously he had, talked about her when Candace went live a few months ago and exposed their plot to destroy Monique and Chris's family. Chris and Monique went live, and Chris made some statements about Sharice on that live. And he said to her, I owe you an apology. I'm glad I ran into you. But he did address the things that she said, the allegations in the plot, which is not even an allegation. It's fact. We have proof, right? That this plot to take down the Samuels existed, and claim that their youngest son is not the paternity of Chris Samuels. Right. We all know about this plot. Sharice was stuttering because she was just like shocked that he would even talk to her. It was a calm conversation. Chris Samuels never raised his voice. He never laid a hand on her. That was all lies. Now, I don't know the story Sharice ran back and told Gisele, but we all know from watching the show, Gisele likes to add things onto a story. When she was talking to Wendy about what Karen said, she said that Karen called her a floozy freelancer. Complete lie, right? She never said floozy.
Correct.
She never said that stuff. And I don't even think she used the term freelancer. But you got Gisele likes to embellish a story. She likes to fabricate stories. So she needed when Jamal came to her and said, listen, the entire congregation is calling me Pastor Holy Whore. The board called me into a meeting. What the hell is going on? She had to have a compelling story to tell him. All right.
Correct. and he's telling her, I'm about to lose my bag. That means you're not going to be getting no money.
Right.
So you better come around here and help me, tell me what to say and what's going on.
Exactly. Lie number 3, because I addressed this earlier, but for those joining this live late, Chris Samuels was accused by Jamal of verbally assaulting Gisele and Robin at the reunion and having to be subdued. He used the word subdued by security. That is 100% false. That never happened. Okay. I can't get into any details about what happens in part 2 or part 3. You guys have to tune in, but I will say this, that is complete falsehood. So when his congregation, when New Birth tunes in on Sunday, like he instructed them to watch Chris Samuels verbally assault these women, they gonna be sadly disappointed because they're not gonna see that. It never happened.
And another thing, everybody will understand after part 3 because Monique's binder connects the dots. Believe that. Y'all saw in part 1, it connect the dot, and Gisele's usually running her mouth, and Robin's usually backing Gisele. Candace did more backing Gisele than Robin did on part 1. And another thing, Monica, before I get off this phone, I need to bring up that he brought up Kyle Paler without even saying his name.
Yes, he did. He said another lie number 4, where he says Monique was best friends. Your best friend passed away. Kyle and Monique were not best friends. Okay. She knew him from Instagram. He was a blogger. They were friendly. Monique took a likeness to him because she has a good heart. She's a nice
Correct.
Heart. Kyle was messy, but did she feed him any rumors? Did she plot with him to expose and assassinate anyone's character? That is a complete lie. And he was trying to imply that, that Monique, this messy person, and I am so sorry your blogger best friend passed away. How nasty is that?
That is so nasty. And see, and I'm gonna tell you, like you said, Kyle had his downfalls. But if you was to ask Kyle who told him what, Kyle always told the truth, where I got my information from. And once it was verified, it didn't come from Kyle. It originated with someone else, and he was able to say, I got my information from that person. And for him to say everything came from Kyle, oh, that's not true.
Right. Exactly. Kyle had amazing sources. He was a big part of the DMV, and a lot of people came to him with stuff. They mad, but did Monique plot with Kyle to assassinate anyone's character on that cast or feed him secrets or went to him about the fight? Absolutely not. That is false. Someone said here, Nichelle said, question, why was Gisele so calm after Monique said all that stuff? She was trying to process it, but that calmness doesn't last. Y'all need to stay tuned because she goes to fuck off. Okay.
Yes. And I'm telling you, the reason why Gisele was so calm because she didn't know exactly what Monique was going to say. And it was like the same dagger Jamal threw at her is the same dagger that she was receiving from. See, what y'all don't know, allegedly, Gisele has fought for Jamal physically in his last church in Baltimore when she caught him with someone else. And this was the same feeling to her. She didn't know what to say. And Robin didn't know enough about Jamal to even help her. So she was dying inside about what Monique had just said on part 1.
Right. Gisele, like I told y'all earlier, Gisele suffered a mental breakdown right before her and Jamal got married because he fathered 2 children outside of their relationship. And one of the girls he fathered a child with, but she later lost the baby, was underage. So he put her through some things. He really put her through the ringer.
Yes, Lynn. It's crazy.
Yeah. Marcella, I mean, this man, how do you get on? You're a pastor of a mega church. You go on live and you don't do your due diligence.
Correct.
Go
Just for what he said about I got your address. I'm from Baltimore. This is what the church needs to italicize because that's ninja talking. That is what ninjas say out in the street as a threat.
Yeah. Anyone
and I really hope there's some liability consequences for him for getting on live.
I may live in Atlanta, but I'm from Baltimore. Everybody know that street talk. That's code for I will F you up. Don't play with me. I'm from Baltimore. Don't play with me. Everybody know that. How is he even a pastor? That's a great question, Leandra. Excellent question. I don't know. New Birth has a history of hiring very shady pastors to preach to their flock. So, child, I don't know.
And what's so crazy, people in their church right now need food and clothing. And this man comes out with leather outfits on the pulpit, Gucci outfits on the pulpit. He's a walking name brand. It's enough. He got people in his church suffering, and they are giving him this money. And there's people that's hungry. I'm telling you, New Birth, y'all better go back into a meeting, and y'all need to choose somebody that is going to be very reputable and following in the church scene, because this man is tearing that church down brick by brick.
Assassinating characters, telling lies, getting half of the story. He should know by now he can't believe a word Gisele said. I mean, she lied in their divorce filing. She lies constantly to him. She's manipulative, and he knows this. But I guess he needed an excuse, and he was forced by the board to address it. And this was his way of addressing Monique's allegations publicly. I'm telling y'all, Monique, you better go ahead, if you're listening, and trademark Pastor Holy Whore, because they got everybody's panties in a bunch. Everybody's. Especially
send me 5 of those t-shirts. I'll wear it. I will buy them, because that should be a trademark. And I'm telling you, when you guys see that Chris did not attack any woman next week, you seen his calm exterior. Y'all seen it all these years she's been on that show. Y'all have never seen him upset or act distasteful. And y'all gonna see. So he invited his congregation to watch. He's gonna tell them next week, oh, they edited it out. They edit everything out. But if that had happened, any woman that would have been assaulted by Chris would have been in the news, on the blog, and definitely in a courtroom trying to secure some of their money.
And had Chris verbally assaulted anyone, he would have been removed from that reunion stage. The lie that Jamal stated that he had to be subdued, Chris had to be subdued by security, is completely false. Was there security on set? Absolutely. Because you know those girls like to perpetuate this lie, or this storyline that Monique's dangerous. But as we saw in part 1, Monique was calm, cool, collected, poised, did not mention one cuss word, and got her point across, and had everybody shooketh. Everybody, including Andy Cohen on that stage, was shook. Okay, because they weren't expecting that. Everybody was expecting Monique versus Candace, right? Even Candace.
She spoke loud, she spoke legible, and she was hitting all the targets, not outside the target. She was hitting 100s. And it was crazy.
That's right, CC Freak. Jamal is collateral damage. And it's only going to make him look like a bigger liar and a bigger fool once Sunday episode airs. I'm going to bring on my friend Schoolboy. I just love her. Hey, love.
Hey, I'm just trying to process all of this that y'all have said, because when I sat there and looked at that live, he completely didn't say shit. He said nothing that even validated that her and him was together. At no point he said that they were together at all. Now, I know from being from Baltimore, she ain't telling the truth about how they met, because she broke up the first marriage. Gisele broke up the first marriage.
She sure did.
Like 2 older children that you never hear nothing about. A daughter and a son. And word on the curb was when my grandmother said she met Gisele. She went to Bible study one night at in Baltimore when he had Empowerment Temple. And she said, oh, well, no, she was nice and she was poised. At the time, she only had one baby. Well, everybody knows that oldest girl was born and conceived when he was screwing with Gisele on the side on his first wife. That's why she left him. So my thing is, you can't call him cheater pumpkin either when you was a gold digging hoe. You got with him with intentions of trying to have the life that Monique has, and you're jealous because Monique has that life and she didn't have to do all the shit that you did to get it, and you still lost it. Now you on TV lying with these damn kids. Now when he got to the point of saying the kids was, oh, they're daddy's girls, where, sir? Were you watching what I was watching, sir? Them kids look like they just was like, why is this Negro here? And why he's a check daddy, period. I know that. My aunt was the branch bank manager at the Wells Fargo where he banked at. And when he was late on that child support, Gisele was on that phone. Where's the financial man? And as soon as the financial man came in and dropped that money, Gisele would get off the phone. Gisele is all about that coin.
She is.
Amen.
Always been about that coin.
Yeah.
Her slip is showing.
Allegedly dating drug dealers back in the days, you know, her college days.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you were
She went to Hampton University.
Whatever. Door roar, but you up here. I mean, make it make sense. And I love my black people, but we got to stop going to black churches that's up in here scamming us, and we going in there for the intention of man and not God. Because clearly you going in there to worship this man and not God. They do that with that other one, John Gray, who up there cheating on his wife.
Oh Lord.
Girl, tell the truth, stay alive, honey.
And I don't have an issue with Gisele being on the show. My issue with her is that, first of all, you lied on Monique and them. Then you up here lying with this relationship, and then he further making you look like a fool online. How did my question is for the deacons that's sitting on the board, did he really address anything for you? Because I felt like nothing was addressed. I don't understand. And y'all have enlightened me on things about other children. Now, I did know that when him and Gisele divorced, he did have another child, and then there was another child that was conceived in the church as well. And now I do know, word on the curb, and it is true word, he does like messing with young girls.
Bingo.
That's not a
bingo.
lie. He does.
He got one pregnant and she lost the baby. Yes.
They are street people. Street.
Yes.
So when you're in there talking on that live, that was street hood rhetoric. I know, from Baltimore.
Right. That's why
I'm from Harlem. Yes, he was. That was a threat.
Yes.
Schoolboy, that was a threat, and he know it.
That was a like, fool, if I catch you on the street, I'm gonna mess you up threat.
Oh,
No, it was like, I know your address. Don't come outside and think I may not be there. And I'm saying, what? Did you just say you know his address?
And
That's what he said. That's what he
like
said.
the security dude that was on the show, first of all, he looked like one of the members at Empowerment Temple. First of all, I don't know what street they got him off of, but everybody that has ever been in his church are from the street. That's what he ministers into the street, and he brings them in. This is why I further know he can't keep his stuff in his pants, because he like getting them young girls at wayward, and they're looking for a father figure. And hey, like you said, it's prey. I'm getting prey. Any woman that's broken, oh, pray. But you saying this woman lying about being with you, the baby mama lying. So how many kids is it really? Can somebody tell me how many it is?
7. And the youngest baby looked just like him. You don't need Maury. I saw the side by side. I have the pictures. That baby looks just like, it looked like he spit that child out. Okay.
Is that the one that's floating around YouTube? I think I've seen it.
Yes, and in Baltimore. and the child is in Baltimore. So during Cynthia's wedding, when he wasn't at the wedding, he was in Baltimore, and Gisele was at the wedding, and he was up there visiting his child, and the child just turned 1 year old September.
Is that the one where the baby mama said he was at the hospital when she had it?
Yes, ma'am.
Gisele was faking on the show like he had some kind of meeting. Gisele might want to go ahead and exit off this show before she get embarrassed even more. She might want to go ahead and exit off the show because they're going to first digging in her past. Like folks is digging over there in Mary Crosby up in Salt Lake City. They're going to keep digging in her past until they find the real conception of her.
Your volume went. Ooh, we lost her. Hopefully she comes back.
See, that's what I'm saying. When they opened, what Jamal Bryant did last night was open up a brand new Pandora box. And see, he can't tell the bloggers when to stop digging because everybody's going to keep digging and digging. See, y'all didn't know about Gisele got in a fight with the last person. Gisele was the side chick at one time. Gisele, he had babies while he was married to Gisele.
Right. But I don't know if he was married previously. I know he was in a relationship previously to Gisele, and she came in and she was a side chick. And then he, left his other woman, the mother of those older children, to get with Gisele. Now, B Money says young girls like 18 or 19 or like underage. No, underage, under 18, 16, 17, underage girls. Yeah.
But guess what? He gonna tell his church we lying by sending a cease and desist to us.
I want to clarify this too. He was a youth minister at one point, so yeah, he did know because he could pull in the young people. That's what they liked about him. He had that street rhetoric in which he could bring them. Oh, we can convert them to God because he had that street mentality, and that's why you had a lot of the young girls and young guys came into the church, drug dealers, pimps, anything. He was able to attract that, and he made a lot of money. Word on the down. See, another thing they don't talk about is my mom told me about this. Elijah Cummings was going to step down from his seat at the time. This was way before he passed, and they were grooming him with Kwesi and Fume to try to get him into politics. Something went left, and I don't know if it was so much of his past and these kids and the waywardness. They just could not move forward with trying to push him in the way of politics because he was out there during the Freddie Gray trial and all of that. And he was doing all this political stuff, and so folks were getting into them, and they knew he could bring that flock in. So they were trying to groom him, and then all of a sudden it just stopped.
Right. Because you know why? He was out there defending R. Kelly. But he wouldn't speak publicly of that. And then 2 weeks ago, he hanging with Lil Scrappy, Young Jock, and BK from Love and Hip Hop when he should have been trying to repent somewhere about what he's done. Now that photo was out there. He's hanging with all these men that sleep around with women. And what I heard he said, y'all be getting girls and I do too.
Well, I mean, that's those people are who he is, right? I mean, at the core of it, like he said, I may live in Atlanta, but I'm from Baltimore. At the end of the day, Jamal is a hood ninja. He really is. Let's keep it real. He really is. And that's who he's comfortable around. The pimps, the drug dealers, the rappers, that's where he can let his hair down and be himself, smoke a little hookah, smoke a little reefer, whatever. That's his crowd. This is Charles Pastor.
He know it. So I don't, and from what I heard, he hitting everything in Atlanta. That's reality TV bound. But you say you don't like reality TV. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Let's talk about Mr. Chocolate with Phaedra.
Let's
talk about Tweet.
Let's talk about him with Malaysia from Basketball Wives.
Amen. She made that
he
move from
cheated on,
LA to Atlanta to be with him.
he cheated on Tanya with Malaysia from Basketball Wives.
Correct.
While he was still with the baby mama of the 7th child. So he was in an 11-year relationship with, I'll just call her Miss R. Okay. While he was with her for 11 years, he brought in Tunia into the relationship, the pastor in New York. And then he brought in Tweet. Tweet was intermingled and a part of that timeline. And then he brought in Malaysia, moved her from LA to Atlanta. Okay, got her kids set up in a house, bought her a car, everything.
They should be itching
Correct.
and burning as much liquids and fluids that have been going through these different people. They ought to be burning down there. How?
That's why I say that church will forever be in history. He is taking them apart brick by brick. That's what he's doing. And these people in that church don't even know who they're dealing with. They don't know. They don't know when they're paying for him to go to another state. He's there, maybe taking care of his business, but he's having sex and unprotected sex with women because all these kids couldn't have came through no condom.
Or no birth control. Nope. Oh my goodness. And quiet as it's kept, Gisele is not even Jamal's type. He liked them really young and brown skin, brown to dark skin. He don't like light skinned women like that.
Well,
she was just that look for a first lady. Gisele had that first lady look, but that's not really what he wanted in his heart.
And let me tell you this, Gisele knows. And Gisele only wants to be with Jamal because when he don't have the money to pay her, he tells her, listen, I'm going to take care of you. Just hold out. Here, take this penis for a minute. And that holds her down.
Penis with the bumps on it. I mean, who wants community peen? Oh, Lord.
Schoolboy, I can't hear you.
We can't hear you, schoolboy. Yeah, we can't hear you, honey. Come out and come back in. Well, if you come out and come back in, there's so many people on the backstage, you might not get in. Refresh your computer, see if that works.
I'm telling you, he is making this woman look crazy, desperate, and there's nothing nobody can do to help Gisele.
Hey, B Money, how you doing, hon?
Hey, Monica. Hey, Miss Marcella. Oh my God, y'all. Seriously, I'm flabbergasted about this. This was a revelation to me about these underage girls. What? How long have y'all been knowing about this? That is crazy. Oh my God, that is out of control. That is really ridiculous. And you know what? When he was on there rambling about that lady, that Tanya lady, I said, sir, you guilty. Goodbye. We don't believe nothing you say.
Right.
And then he went on about talking about Chris. And when he was talking about the CTE stuff, I said, if somebody actually believed this, you need your head checked. But it's a lot of people that don't know about it. But
right.
It's absolutely garbage. Like he is ridiculous. And for him to just sit there, throw them accusations out that Chris is basically out of control, big beast. And he insinuating basically that he was hitting Monique. Let's talk about that. That's what I was getting out of it, that Monique is over there living in fear with this big angry beast.
Yeah.
He needs to get his entire life together. I'm so done with him. Sorry, y'all. That's my child coming in here singing. Okay.
And I'm going to tell you, Chris is very supportive of Monique. He's very loving to his children. And let me point out, as a couple, they are very giving to the community. Like there's things that y'all don't know that I know that they do because I have donated and they have donated and they don't know that I've donated, but they are very loving. I'm going to tell you about Aaron Hernandez. When they didn't know that he had CTE, but he acted violent. CTE will make you act violent. There's no way that you can control it. But on the other hand, You don't know you got CTE until they open you up. And for him to say some of the brothers from the Redskins told him that,
Right.
that was a lie.
Yeah, a complete lie.
A
Yeah.
blatant lie. Yeah, I didn't
Mhm.
believe nothing he said because I know you have to dissect the brain to actually get a diagnosis of CTE. I knew he was full of it when he said that, and I said, you know what? You are out of control at this point. For you to even murmur that, for that to even come out of your mouth, you need to get your life together. But his little parishioners at New Birth, I guess we just gonna have to pray for them. I don't know what they gonna do, but it sounds like he on his way out the door. If you
He
listen.
took down his live. And if Chris got CTE, in my opinion, Jamal got STD.
Oh, okay.
So let's call it like it is.
Let's call a thing a thing. Okay.
Amen. Petty
You
meet
swing that
petty.
peen
But he
around,
took
you got
down his live. He has taken down his live, honey.
Okay.
Right. He don't
Right.
stand behind it because he knows it's full of slanderous stuff. He knows he's a pastor and you threatening folks. Really?
Okay. I got your address. What was Jamal? Are you serious right now? You gonna pull up on Chris Samuel, 6'5" Chris Samuel? I want to see that. I want to see that.
Don't mind going to jail.
Oh my.
Yes, honey. So everybody that believes in what the pastor say, if Chris got CTD, your pastor got STD, and that's my opinion. And he's a pedophile, in my opinion.
So if Chris got CTE, Pastor Holy War got STDs. Right.
Bam, bam.
STDs, STIs, everything under the sun, honey. Over there slinging that peen and getting women pregnant. On top of that, so you know he was not using protection, which is a whole nother story.
You know what he did? He said, "You can trust me. I am a man of God. I am clean. Now go down on your knees and show me how much you love me."
Not go down on the knees. Oh Lord.
Yeah, he been anointing them booty holes for a while now, honey.
Not the booty hole.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, B Money, you are always so sweet. Thank you for the support and calling in. You have a beautiful
Love y'all. All right. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Love you too, honey. All right. Schoolboy, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. Schoolboy's back. Okay, I'm gonna keep Schoolboy on here as long as she's willing to stay because she's from Baltimore, and her auntie used to work at the bank where Wells Fargo, you said, where Jamal's child support money used to come in. So she got intimate knowledge of the situation.
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and add from the streets. Hey, from the streets, but preach in the closet.
Hey. Yes, I Monica, let's just say one thing. That meeting, between the last 6 and DNAs and child support that we don't know about officially because there's more than 11 children. Between it's not only women, there's also men and also in between. He is. Y'all thought that surviving R. Kelly was something else. He is surviving R. Kelly times 1,000.
Yes.
I cannot wait to see surviving Jamal Bryant because between what happened in DC and Atlanta, and we know Atlanta is the freakendom of America. Is laying dicks and pussy and everything in between.
Ooh, no
The
cuss
sheets.
words.
Okay, sorry. Laying every sexual organs on the sheets, on the rug, on that church altar, on that church office. And I'm not surprised that, let me tell you something, Gisele is about to lose her job because we remember what Phaedra did to Candy a few seasons ago in Atlanta. And we know that when you're lying, and especially if you're having fake storylines, it has been 5 seasons. She is just jealous because she cannot have 4 houses. She has a broke down cabin.
That's the
And
that's
also
the
we all have to go back to that Andy Birch about his when they had this birthday for this party for Andy's child, and they all meet up for that to break down Monique. Actually, Candace revealed a few months ago. It's
Mhm.
just when the shit is coming back to hit them in the face. And this time it's not going to be a shit. It's just gonna be plain hold hands, and Bravo's gonna fire them. Because we know next season, if she's coming back, she cannot fake it right now. She has been faking it for years, faking it for years. She has been deflected for years, deflected for years. And also in Hubert right now, the reality is he he's going to get fired. I can tell you that for sure.
Oh yeah, he's on his way out the door. That's why he
No,
went on
actually,
that
he is actually already.
out the door.
Um, he is not just out the door; he's out of Atlanta. Between Mr. Chocolate with Phaedra, between Basketball Wives, that one that that calls herself LaQuisha. We all know her that she is not really accepting the fact that she's black, because we all can see you're black, you're not white.
Mhm.
Um, and also, let's just say he has brought more scandal in such short amount of time than Eddie Long.
Mhm. I totally agree. I love your accent. Where are you from?
I live. I'm in Europe actually. It's six at night in the afternoon right now. I've been
Mhm.
watching your live, and let me tell you something. I live in France. I'm laughing right now because between Holy Whore, between those NDAs that I have a personal close friends that is actually in the church that is handling those papers, and
Mhm.
we have been laughing. We have been laughing for months, and I told that friend he is just it is going. Y'all thought that Carlins in Hillsong Church was bad. Y'all thought that John Gray is bad. Jamal Bryant by himself is everything that you can imagine times 1,000. And
Yes.
honestly, bumps on those genitals is nothing. He
Mm.
needs to worry. For me there's more than 20 kids. It is closer to 30. And if we're speaking of under underage children that is pregnant, this is child rape. And this is a FBI case that is
Mm.
about to come. You
Okay.
see what happened. You see what happened to R. Kelly?
Mhm.
Watch my words.
Yeah.
Watch my words.
All right. Well, thank you
Giselle?
for calling in, sweetheart. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. We won't use the R word or those type. We can just say assault or abuse and that kind of stuff, and no profanity, y'all, because I'm not trying to have you two flag me. Okay. Oh my goodness, Marcella, you have any parting words? Because we're gonna wrap this up.
I just want y'all to know that stay tuned. Do not believe what you hear from us. Watch it with your eyes. By the end of part 3, Monique Samuels, Christopher Samuels will be vindicated. They will be vindicated. And I love you guys for listening, but I want y'all to know, pay attention to all sides of the story. Do not believe what this man just told you.
Well, it's a complete lie. I spoke to Chris and Monique directly last night, and it's a complete lie that Chris assaulted a woman in Safeway. I don't know how Jamal can fix his mouth to say those things without definitive proof. We have the video. There is no video. What video? Clearly, Gisele is feeding him this bag of lies, and he's going to have egg on his face because there is no video.
He do. That's why he removed his video. Honey, Jamal, thank you, because we done shared it 1,000 times.
Oh yeah, I added TLW because she's been waiting a long time. Hey TLW,
Hello. I'm actually a
a guy. I'm
guy.
sorry. Hi. Yep, I can hear you.
Well, I just wanted to say hello. I discovered you a couple of weeks ago, and I've been hooked ever since. God
Welcome.
bless you.
Thank you. Welcome.
And I just want to say, to me, all of this reeks of like attracts like, and Gisele and Jamal clearly are made for each other.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And from the looks of it, this fallout, talk about collateral damage. It's clearly looking like Gisele is quickly becoming bad for business, and so I I I bet she probably would be in a reduced role next season, if not taken off the show completely, because all of this is just blowing up in her face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you know what they say, when you sell your soul to the devil, you can't dictate the terms of the contract, because when he comes to collect, he collects.
Correct.
Valid points.
I mean, I'm just like, you guys are laying me out. I should be getting ready for work, but I'm hooked on watching and listening to this.
Oh my goodness. I mean, well, Pastor Holy Whore brought us together. I mean, we wouldn't be here today if he hadn't gone live with his cash register of lies.
Right. And an upside down binder full of nothing.
Full of nothing, zero.
I mean, you're going to try to read and play Monique, at least come correct.
You should have said that.
Right.
Yeah, what was that clip on Flavor of Love with New York? You should have just sat there and been quiet and ate your food.
Right, exactly. That's right.
You should have sat there and been quiet. Like, wow. Like, everybody knows your business. And then homeboy said he was over there in France. Now, like, your mess is reaching across seas into different countries now.
Yeah, international.
A bunch of mess. But I won't hold you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy I got to speak to you. Hello, Marcel. What up, schoolboy? You guys be blessed. Stay safe. And thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling in. And you need to call in more often because you're funny. You got the shade, baby.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'll be watching next Monday because I can't wait for you and the panel to go in on part 2. And when they don't show, what he's alleging with Chris, when they don't show it, they'll just tell people, oh, they edited out of the footage. They edited,
absolutely.
So just to keep up with the lie.
Absolutely. You know how that's gonna go down. But Jamal better watch himself. As a pastor of a church, he has one foot out the door with this whole mess that Gisele done got him into. He was gonna come on this show. It was supposed to bring awareness to the church and present himself as this man of God, this man of the cloth. But instead, everyone's calling him Pastor Holy Whore now. And the deacons are upset. The church board is upset. He got everybody mad.
What did Rick James say? Fame is one hell of a drug.
Yep, there you go.
And you can't worship two gods. God, God and money. And that's what this is all about. Like, anything to advance him, anything to make him look good. And Gisele, she wants to, I call her a bootleg Vanessa Williams. And I know we don't like to talk about, the whole colorism aspect, but she just, what Wendy said on the last part of the reunion, you suffer from pretty girl syndrome, that whole light skin and the beautiful eyes, and you got the blonde hair, and you trying to portray this image, but everything about you is extremely ugly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not to mention her neck is ugly too. I mean,
did you see them upper arms and them knees telling all her business?
I can't. You have a good taste, sir.
I'm just saying. You notice that it ain't fun when the rabbit got the gun, and she's sitting up there, and that neck was just telling all her business. And they say, what is it? Good black don't crack. She was sitting up there cracking. I'd have been like, she's cracking. She's cracking.
The neck done collapsed again. Good Lord.
Bye-bye.
Bye, honey. Schoolboy.
I love you guys. Stay tuned, though.
Okay, bye, Marcella.
Bye. Love
honey.
you.
Love you too. Schoolboy, you was gonna say something?
I was saying, like, she need to get with Sonia Morgan's plastic surgeon and get that handle, because Sonia got that good pullback.
Oh, child, yes. Well, I think she's gone and she's done some things, but this is the second time it's collapsed. It's down again.
You need to stop being cheap. Go to a good plastic surgeon.
I'm gonna bring Myra on before we head out of here. Hi, Maya. You're on mute, honey. Take yourself off of mute. Hello?
Am I off mute now?
There you are. Yep, we can hear you.
Yeah, am I off mute now?
You are. Hi, Maya.
Man, I feel so blessed right now. Hello. Hi, Miss Monica. Hey, schoolboy. How you guys doing this day?
Good.
Oh my gosh, I'm so juiced. I've been waiting to like come on here with you forever. But no, I just wanted to tell you guys, like, you guys are hilarious. I've been watching you. I'm definitely I found you through DJ Richie Sky. So I'm just blessed. You know, I'm here to say hi and just tell you guys, you guys are funny as heck
you.
for always coming at Gisele, because finally somebody used to come out here. And yeah, I don't know what to say now, so I just wanted to say hi.
Hi. Shout out to DJ Richie Sky. Love you, Richie. Thank you, Maya. Thank you for calling in, honey. You have a beautiful day.
Keep up with the good commentary.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just gonna bring on Pink Passion before we head out of here. Hi, Pink Passion.
Hi, Monica. Thank you so much for adding me.
You're welcome.
First of all, I want to say this. I hope that Chris and Monique have already filed a lawsuit for defamation. For this man to insinuate that Chris is violent, a lot of people took that as though he is at home beating on his wife and things of that nature.
Right.
I hope the lawsuit has already been filed. And then for this man to come on and pretty much admit to nothing, like, what was the point of you even doing the live? He didn't confirm the relationship between he and Gisele, because there is no relationship.
That's right.
And like, he should have just stayed in the phone. Let these women do what they do, and you remain in the phone. I feel as though New Birth, a lot of the congregation, they know what this man has been doing. They know. Just like with the Eddie Long situation, they didn't let him go. When those accusations came up about him and those young boys, they didn't let him go.
Right.
Death took him out. Lord rest his soul. But it's something about that church. And the parishioners, I don't understand why it is they continue to flock to this church. This man cannot teach me to tie my shoes if I didn't know how, as a 44-year-old woman, let alone minister to me. And Gisele, you are talking about her plastic surgeon. Instead of her spending so much time hating on Karen, why don't you ask this woman to give you the number of her plastic surgeon? Why don't you bury the hatchet with the young man that does her wigs, so that he could get your hair together, and ask Karen to hook you up with a stylist, because you looked a hot mess since day one. And the neck situation, I don't think that there's no plastic surgeon that can do anything with those necks. Like, she's gonna go to the grave with all six of them. All six of them.
We just got some breaking news. Pink, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but we got some breaking news that Jamal was just asked to step down from the congregation.
Really?
Do me a favor, Pink. If you have this YouTube live in another window someplace or on a phone, turn it down.
Okay,
Wait,
let me
the
see.
reverb is bad.
He was asking in his church. His daddy stepped down when he cheated on. He had them side at church, and he refused to step down. Instead, he dipped out of town and left, and them people didn't even know he was leaving until the weekend of. He stood in the pulpit and said, "Oh, I'm moving to Atlanta." Them people had no idea that he was leaving the church.
Wow. Well, from word on the curb is that he misappropriated some funds and mishandled some money up in Baltimore, and he was pretty much ran out of that church. I mean, outside of him having all them babies in the congregation, he was also not handling money well.
Not surprised. Not surprised at all. Because I'm gonna tell you, that Gisele Bryant was on that phone about that child support when it was not up in that bank account.
Mm-hmm.
She called and called that bank until that financial man came and walked through the door and put that money in there and deposited. Once she saw that deposit, then she stopped calling.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Where are y'all seeing this? Let me go to New Birth's. Oh yeah, your reverb is real bad. Let me go to New Birth's Instagram page and see if I can find anything real quick, because I don't see it. I just Googled it and I don't see it. So let me see if they posted anything. New Birth Baptist. Let me see. They don't have I don't think they have an Instagram. Let me check their Facebook. Where are y'all seeing this? That Pastor Jamal was asked to step down. Comment in the chat, because I'm not finding anything. Let me look real quick.
Twitter, but I mean, sometimes people put misinformation. I don't really go off the internet sometimes unless I'm sure.
If I find it, if it's true, we're going to come back on live later on, schoolboy, if you're not busy. We'll get back on here. All right, y'all.
Can I add this too?
Yes.
Just really quick. For him to have threatened Monique, a woman, the way that he did, saying, "You may have my number, but I have your address." He is a thug. He is a thug.
Yes.
And I hope that he was asked to step down. I really do. I hope that he was asked to step down. And I'm waiting for Bravo to get some sense about themselves and let this woman go. Her and her sidekick. They have no storyline other than what's going on in everyone else's life. I'm over all of it, all of the foolishness. I'm over it all.
Oh, yeah. You know what's so dangerous about this whole situation, too, is Gisele is pretty dangerous, right? We all know, we've seen from watching the live that Jamal is a thug. There's no question. He's a street dude. And here you are running to this man with lies, putting all these things in his head. You never know if he can hire a hitman, or he could be angry to drive down to Potomac with a gun. You never know how people may react to something. What their coins are being affected.
But trust me, he got connected.
I lost you.
And the way that she was so, she acted so fearful of Monique, after the little spat that her and Candace had. Like, how hypocritical can you be?
Exactly.
Like, girl, please.
They so full of it. They just want her fired. So that's why they're running with this, "Oh, we're so scared" narrative. They've always been threatened by her from day one.
Yes, from day one. When Gisele tried to shade her and said, "Oh, you don't have a home?" And she said, I have 4. I have 4 homes. Ever since that incident, Gisele has not liked her, and Robin, she follows suit. She follows suit because she doesn't have the capability to think for herself. Gisele does her bidding and Robin just follows along.
If they would just tell that woman, "Look, I just don't like you," I would respect it a lot better. But the fact that they sitting up here plotting on this Mean Girls BS is just like, y'all are old. Y'all my mama's age. My mom's 52. In y'all 50s, acting a.
Right.
Right.
And then they talk about empowering women. No, you're tearing women down. You're tearing them down. And Gisele was the worst. When she said something about when she made the comment about Monique's daughter, how she was a bad influence, you know, just implying that she was a bad mom because she got into a fight with Candace. Girl, have you not forgotten about your boyfriend, so-called boyfriend, your alleged boyfriend, and the behavior that you have displayed in the past? Things that I heard you bring to light, Monica, today. I didn't know that she was a side chick and out here fighting for this man. I didn't know any of that. I don't follow her because I don't like her. She's a pretty girl on the outside, but that inside makes her so ugly, ugly and disgusting, deplorable. And I'm Team Monique. I am Team Monique.
Amen. Thank you, Pink, for calling in. And thank you all for joining this chat today. Y'all know I normally don't go live in the morning, but I had to get on here after speaking to Chris and Monique last night and clarify Jamal's lies, because he straight up lied.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And Chris has every right to be upset. Candace is the one who got on YouTube and exposed the plot.
She was.
So this man has every right to be upset. You tried to destroy my family. Of course I'm going to be upset. This man loves his wife.
Absolutely.
He loves his wife.
He
and
loves
for this
his
man
family.
to get on. Yes, he does. And it's just disgusting. Her and Jamal deserve one another, for real. They deserve one another.
Match made in hell. Absolutely. All right, we're gonna head on out of here. Schoolboy, my friend, thank you so much for calling in. You know, I appreciate and love you very much.
Anytime.
Pink, thank you for calling in, and all the callers that called in. Thank y'all, everyone on the live.
Thank you.
That joined us. Thank you so much for joining us today. Moderators, thank you. Teacups, I love y'all. Please stay safe and be blessed. I will keep you up to date on this Jamal Bryant situation as it unfolds. And I'll see y'all back here maybe tomorrow, but definitely Monday for the recap. Bye now. Bye,
Thank
y'all.
you, Monica. Bye. Have a blessed day, everyone.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.